Dubai? A place where the sun beams 365 days a year, tax-free, and golden life. Literally, you can dine with gold, sleep in golden beds, and even cruise around in golden cars. Sounds like an absolute paradise for the wealthy, doesn't it? But hold on, out of the 5,000 billionaires around the globe, only 20 choose to call Dubai their home. Beijing holds the crown for the city with the most billionaires, followed closely by New York City. So, what's steering the ultra-rich away from Dubai? Well, beneath all that sparkle, there's a darker side to this golden city. Issues like financial fraud, money laundering, and even public crimes. These can't ensure safety and stability, especially for those with substantial wealth and high profiles. Today, let's step away from the glitz and glamour and dive deep into the shocking truths about Dubai. And don't forget to subscribe to Billionaire Dynasty for more eye-opening videos. Tales of wealth. Imagine a time when Dubai sat quietly, almost unnoticed until the 1960s when the British left. That's when the United Arab Emirates struck gold. Not the shiny kind, but oil, turning sand into gold. Back then, locals, unaccustomed to such sudden wealth, were at a crossroads. Enter Sheikh Maktoum, the Prime Minister and the leader of the Dubai royal family. His vision? To transform Dubai into a tax-free shopping paradise. His presence? So dominant that you'd find his image more frequently in Dubai than McDonald's ads in the USA. 1985 was a game-changer for Dubai with the establishment of its first free zone Jafza, spanning 52 kilometers square. It became a magnet for global businesses. Thousands of companies in Jafza account for 20% of Dubai's foreign investment, with 144,000 employees generating a whopping $80 billion, excluding oil. That's 21% of the city's GDP. And then there's the architecture. The Burj Khalifa, the Marina, Jumeirah Village, Burj Al Arab, each a marvel, topping the list of the world's most expensive projects. The Burj Khalifa towering with a construction cost of $1.5 billion, and the Palm Islands at $12.3 billion, elevated Dubai's stature globally. On the streets, don't be surprised to see police in Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bentleys, McLarens, BMWs, and Bugattis. Rich versus poor, a clear divide. Did you know that only 9% of population is native? They are the wealthy living life at an extraordinary level, served with utmost care, drive flashy supercars, and some even have exotic pets like bears, tigers, and lions. But here's a twist. Keeping wild animals is actually illegal in Dubai, with potential penalties including 6 months in jail and fines ranging from $2,700 to $138,000. Despite this, owning these dangerous creatures remains a status symbol among the elite, a challenge to the rules, especially for those who feel their power or wealth places them above the law. Now, let's talk about Linda Andrade, a 23-year-old woman from Jordan who shares her opulent life as a Dubai tycoon's wife to over 530,000 TikTok followers. In her recent videos titled "The Worst Things About Living with a Millionaire," Linda reveals the darker side of marrying into extreme wealth. She talks about the pressure to look perfect all the time, never driving herself, always flying first class, and living in a house overflowing with food that looks like a buffet with towers of seafood and plates of sushi. Linda laments that her husband buys her 24K gold whenever they argue, and how she feels overwhelmed by luxury brands. She also shares her fears of being robbed or losing her husband to other women. Though followed by millions, has sparked controversy online, with some commenting sarcastically, "What a tough life." It's a story that highlights the complexities and sometimes the ironies of living in the lap of luxury. Shitika Anna, a senior expert in Dubai, paints a vivid picture. Imagine sipping a drink from a $1,000 bottle, lounging beside a pool, gazing over the sprawling city below. Yet, for your moment of indulgence, hundreds of barefoot workers toil under the sweltering summer sun. In this city, there are distinct social layers. The second tier comprises foreign workers who are the bankers, fund managers. They enjoy high salaries and luxurious living conditions, but ultimately serve the local population, the top echelon of Dubai's society. In 2022, a revealing YouTube video went viral, created by an Italian vlogger named Gabby. He shared a startling tale from 2012 when, at 23, he moved to Dubai for a job at a Hilton hotel, only to earn $400 a month, a fraction of what he made in LA. On day one, he was asked to hand over his passport for security and policy reasons, a common practice that often signals the beginning of exploitation. Gabby's contract promised an 8-hour workday, 6 days a week, with a day off. The reality was far grimmer.
market and end up working 10 hours, 12 hours, even 16 hours per day just because it was a mess.
At night, a minivan would shuttle employees to a guarded compound in the desert, akin to a prison, with high walls and no windows. Gabi was one of the few Europeans among many from India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, the Philippines, Egypt, and Africa, some earning as little as $200 to $300 a month. A year later, determined to leave, Gabi faced a final hurdle. To retrieve his passport, he was forced to sign a contract holding his manager and colleague responsible for his return. If he didn't come back, they'd lose a month's salary. Gabi chose freedom, compensating his colleagues with his remaining savings, but left the manipulative manager to face the consequences of his actions. Let's talk about the third tier of Dubai's society. The majority, made up of ordinary laborers primarily from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and China. Imagine this. You arrive in Dubai, full of hope and dreams. But as soon as you step off the plane, your passport is confiscated, and you're whisked away to a place not even marked on the map. You're about to start a life of extreme hardship. These workers, the backbone of Dubai's soaring skyline, toil in the scorching desert heat, where temperatures can soar to 50 degrees Celsius. They labor for 14 hours a day, earning just $200 to $250 a month. And when their contracts end, some are left unpaid for months, with no one to turn to for help. After grueling days on construction sites, they return to overcrowded, squalid dormitories. 6 to 8 people cram into a room with 6 beds, surrounded by worn-out belongings and broken dreams. But the hardship doesn't end there. When Dubai faces financial crises or construction companies go bankrupt, these migrant workers suffer the most. They're left without electricity, water, and unpaid wages. Company owners disappear with their salaries and passports, leaving them stranded and invisible. Even foreign expats living and working in Dubai are often oblivious to this hidden reality. It's a secret kept away from the media and the curious eyes of the world. Spend enough time in Dubai and you'll hear taxi drivers lamenting their inability to afford even a goat for their family's Eid celebration back home. Life in Dubai, the truths. In the Western world, we cherish our freedom of expression and public displays of affection. Couples holding hands or sharing a kiss in public are not just common but celebrated as symbols of our open-mindedness and individual liberties. However, in Dubai, with its deeply rooted Islamic culture, such public displays of affection are not only frowned upon but can be considered illegal, leading to fines or even imprisonment. The concept of free speech also treads a delicate line. In Dubai, those attempting to uncover serious issues might receive a call from the Dubai secret police, offering a stark choice: silence or lose everything. Thus, many choose the path of silence. And then, there's this urban legend. A beggar in the wealthiest city of the Middle East earning an average of $24.50 a day, accumulating up to $900,000 a year. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Indeed, it is. It's a myth, a rose-tinted narrative of life in Dubai. In reality, the city maintains a strict policy against begging. In 2016, Emirates News Network reported that Dubai arrested 59 beggars, some of whom were tourists from India and Egypt. By 2018, nearly 100 were deported and barred from re-entering the UAE, with some facing jail time. Interestingly, authorities chose not to reclaim the money they had collected, but instead provided them with a stipend to compensate for their detention time. So, why do Dubai police drive supercars that can hit jaw-dropping speeds? Well, it's quite simple. The city's streets are often turned into racetracks by young heirs driving Ferraris, McLarens, and Bugattis with reckless abandon, ignoring speed limits and safety laws. In just 1 year, Dubai witnessed 3,281 traffic accidents, leading to mangled supercars littering its streets. Traps for girls. In the United Arab Emirates, a nation guided by Islamic principles, activities like prostitution are strictly prohibited. Those caught in such acts face severe consequences, including detention and deportation. However, despite these stringent laws, Dubai has paradoxically become a hub for sex tourism, attracting businessmen from across the globe. An estimated 30,000 women, predominantly from Eastern Europe, South and Southeast Asia, and even as far as East Africa, Iraq, Iran, and Morocco, find themselves trapped in this shadowy underworld. These women, often confined to cramped apartments, live in deplorable conditions, sometimes as many as 18 sharing a single room. Their world is starkly divided based on skin color, with Caucasian women from Europe catering to wealthy foreign clients, while women of color from Africa and South Asia are relegated to the streets, serving the city's impoverished migrant workers. Meet Christine Gold, dubbed the Queen of Human Trafficking in Dubai, fleeing from her native Nigeria, where she is wanted for operating a human trafficking ring. Gold's life in Dubai is a stark contrast to her victims' suffering. Her Instagram profile is a showcase of wealth and luxury, filled with images of gold, jewels, and lavish yacht parties. But behind this facade, Gold is a predator, exploiting vulnerable women with threats of violence and coercion. These women's stories are harrowing. They speak of being lured with promises of high-paying jobs, only to find themselves trapped in a cycle of debt and forced prostitution. The judicial system in Dubai, often criticized for its handling of such cases, acquitted Gold on charges of human trafficking and ignoring international arrest warrants. However, independent investigations by Reuters and the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, corroborated by testimonies from 25 victims, paint a damning picture of Gold's reign of terror. In 2022, an account on X recounted her horrifying experience in Dubai. The woman was persuaded by a handsome Dubai businessman to come to Dubai with him on a private flight. Once there, they spent time dating, sightseeing, and traveling together. But a few days into the trip, he told her to dress elegantly and drove her to a villa on the outskirts of town. Inside that luxurious mansion was a gathering of old wealthy men and many women the same age as her. At 2 a.m. that night, she was awakened by a waiter who came to take her out. As she walked down the stairs, she was greeted by a large room filled with sex toys and plastic buckets. They were forced to strip. Then a man pulled down his pants and defecated into the bucket. Over the next 2 days, they all engage in sexual activities, often involving the use or consumption of the contents of the bucket. Apparently, many of these women wanted to leave immediately, but they were promised $50,000 or leave without any personal belongings. That said, whether you are a migrant worker or not, Dubai is still an extremely dangerous country for women. Dangers of the Underworld. Picture this: 9. Dubai's opulent Marina district. A scene straight out of a James Bond movie unfolds. A Russian military commander is assassinated, a crime that echoes the chilling narratives of Ian Fleming's spy novels. The assailants, hailing from Tajikistan and Iran, confess to acting on orders from a powerful figure in Chechnya, Ramzan Kadyrov. The murder weapon, a gold-plated handgun smuggled into Dubai by a Russian diplomat. Fast forward to January 2020, in a plot worthy of a thriller, Israeli intelligence agents and assassins enter Dubai with forged passports, disguises, and encrypted cell phones. Their target? Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, a senior agent of Hamas. In the quiet of his hotel room, while he prepares for an arms deal with Iranian suppliers, his life is abruptly ended. These incidents are merely the tip of the iceberg in a city where the global arms trade and espionage are just another part of daily life. From the wars in Afghanistan and Libya to the turmoil in Iraq and Lebanon, from the upheavals in Tunisia and Egypt to the intense hostility between Israel and Iran, Dubai's shadows are linked inextricably to these global events. World's hub of money laundering. Beneath its shimmering surface lies a darker reality. Dubai has become a pivotal center for global money laundering. The key to Dubai's allure: a largely tax-free lifestyle, attracting crypto millionaires, Asian bankers, and wealthy Russians looking to safeguard their fortunes. This haven of wealth, however, also serves as fertile ground for murky business dealings and regulatory loopholes. It's a place where gold flows into global markets on an unprecedented scale. Endearment, a US-based consultancy, has uncovered that Dubai's prosperity is underpinned by a turbulent stream of illicit funds born from corruption and crime. The city's alleys are teeming with international banks, serving as the nexus for offshore banking for Iran and the financial hub for Somali pirate groups. As James Rickards writes in The Currency Wars, while pirates, hostages, and naval forces grapple on the Arabian Sea, representatives in Dubai negotiate ransoms and send out payment details. Next comes the illegal cash flow. Dubai's real estate market is a magnet for dirty money, where multi-million-pound properties can be purchased without many questions asked. To attract foreign buyers, the emirate boasts luxury towers, high-end apartments, and artificial islands. Developers and agents readily accept vast sums from political figures worldwide, along with their families and associates. Even international sanctions find a loophole in Dubai's lax regulations and enforcement. With about 30 free trade zones, the area allows businesses to mask criminal proceeds through false invoicing and other deceptive trade documents. A 2006 asset leak revealed that 800 properties in Dubai, worth $400 million, were linked to over 300 Nigerian politicians. What's troubling is that UAE authorities possess the tools and technical knowledge to curb illegal activities like money laundering. Yet, they have often turned a blind eye, fearing the repercussions on the city's financial viability. Behind the glamorous constructions, every day 4 million gallons of water are used just to irrigate the lush golf courses of Dubai. The towering Burj Khalifa, a symbol of human achievement, requires an average of 250,000 gallons of water daily, equivalent to the cooling power of 10,000 tons of melting ice. And there's the world's largest fountain, shooting over 22,000 gallons of water into the air in a mesmerizing dance synchronized with music. While these grand displays capture the world's attention, they mask a troubling reality. In Dubai, a city thirsty for water, the process of desalination provides drinking water, but at a high environmental cost. The Dubai Electricity and Water Authority supplied 163.6 billion gallons of water last year, but for every gallon of desalinated water, 1.5 gallons of saline waste are dumped back into the sea. Yet, many of Dubai's less affluent residents suffer from water scarcity, lacking sufficient daily supplies. A light rain can disrupt life in areas without proper drainage systems. The city's extravagant water use serves primarily its wealthy class, highlighting a stark divide. To sustain this luxury, Dubai relies heavily on freshwater sources it scarcely possesses. Its dependence on desalination technologies comes with significant costs, both financially and environmentally. Experts warn that the process is harming the Persian Gulf, increasing salinity and temperature levels, which in turn threatens marine biodiversity, fisheries, and coastal communities. Without immediate measures to combat climate change, desalination could raise coastal water temperatures in the Gulf by at least 5 degrees Fahrenheit over more than half its area by 2050. Moreover, the construction of artificial islands like Palm Jumeirah has already heated surrounding waters by about 13 degrees over 19 years. Dubai has announced efforts to reduce energy and water demands by 30% by 2030 and to achieve 100% renewable energy by 2050. They're even exploring cloud seeding to generate rain and encouraging hotels to produce their water through air harvesting. But perhaps the most practical step would be to reconsider using drinking water for non-essential activities like metal production and water parks. Dubai's meteoric rise has been fueled largely by its oil wealth, but this resource is not infinite. Estimates suggest that Dubai's oil reserves could be depleted in just 20 more years, raising a critical question. What happens when the oil runs out? Can Dubai sustain its opulent lifestyle and wealth? History is replete with empires and monarchies that crumbled when they strayed from their core values. The fall of the Roman Empire, marred by luxury and power hunger, King Arthur of England beheaded for losing his people's trust, and the recent abdication of the Spanish king amidst corruption scandals. Dubai, too, could face a similar fate if it fails to navigate a new, more sustainable path. The city stands at a crossroads. Can it transform from an oil-dependent metropolis into a symbol of innovation and sustainability? This challenge isn't just about Dubai's future. It's a testament to whether a society can pivot from reliance on natural resources to sustainable and holistic development. What do you think about today's video? Subscribe to Billionaires Dynasty, leave a comment to let us know your thoughts. Goodbye, and see you next time.